look, there's the hall. Stella's laying here. So I've got it's turned weird. But anyways, maybe you'll see something down the hall. I don't know. It's very dark down there. That's the light. That is the room. That's my dressing room. But anyways, there's that room. Always has. This was the one where people have stayed, and like I would go down the hall and there'd be something that would come at me, and it was like guarding that, especially the one girl. Like I kept saying, man, she has got so much dark energy attached to her. And the update on her is whatever, her dad totally failed her. Like the whole thing was so strange how that played out. But she is back with her mom. Her mom wants to fix things with her. So that's good. But there's a lot of stuff that I was gotta get fixed. But this is, this is the time to work on that stuff. That's the thing. That's what's important. And there's like, last time was a horrible, horrible, horrible night. I was trying to, it's very intense. The energy is so fucking intense, and everything seems like it's going super fast to me. That's what it feels like to me in my energy body. It has been this weird raining and stuff so fucking much. It's been flooding and flooding and flooding my yard. Then we'll stop for a little while. Then we'll come back and do it again. It's like my yard is a fucking mess again. And because mine is down, so it takes all of the pine needles and washes them down. So then I just have this like debris field or something. Then and I don't have it. I mean, it would be nice, but the problem is when you go out and it's fucking nice, you still get sick. And I'm still sick. Okay, so I sat outside for that. Yesterday, for the shot clinic thing. Then yesterday, I wasn't going outside. We went for a walk. And but I'm sick as I now got the stomach flu thing again. I'll do the bentonite clay because each time that has started, that I would think it must carry the toxins out of my body. So I'll do that again. Somebody's over there cleaning themselves, but not anything like junky. It's just their back. I'm telling you, there's this weird thing right above. It's like where their tail is. It's like right above their tail, like this area with all these dogs. Like there's something fucking weird. Like, I mean, now at this point, it would be 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. Like, I don't know about the little Chihuahua. I don't spend enough time with him. He's very Chihuahua-ish. But he could have it too, where his is bothering him. Because it was weird when the other little one started doing it. And he's chewed a whole spot on the back of his thing. So I don't know. There's something weird with it. But my body was shooting so much pain last night. Like, even this finger is just like, it's like it just is, the whatever the chemicals that cause in my body is super painful. And at one point last night, I was just like, I'm releasing pain. I'm releasing pain. I'm releasing pain. But then it's always, my chest is so tight. Then it's always like I'm pulled back in. Like I can feel it. Like this is how I get this idea. Like I know that we can have this where pain is what an anchor to us. Pain is what holds us into this reality. And so it pulls me back in. Because then, I'll start to feel like, oh, see, we can pull away from this. And then that's when we're not going to feel pain and stuff. And, oh man, I'm getting all these flashes. Hold on, because that is very overwhelming. Because so many people are just trapped so much in their minds, man. This place is so trippy. Like when you see, and there's so many levels. There's so many levels to this. This really is like mad entertainment. And so okay, there was that links with this, but okay, so on this part, So uh, so I kept seeing, okay, sick. Okay, it just keeps pulling me over here to this other thing about it. But I know I didn't finish saying what I was saying. But the thing, okay, because the way that people hold themselves into the reality through pain, and it is like I can see it on all these different levels, and I want to try and explain some of them, but because I think, when you see it and you understand the process, it makes you be able to understand and see it. So it gives you more awareness. So it gives you more, awareness, so you can figure things out more. And so the people, so the people have the pain is this thing that holds them in these storylines. And so I could feel like I was pulling, like I could feel like, oh, this is why I've been saying it for the past couple of days, because I've been trying to pull out of it. But then what pulls me back is like, this is the story you're in, and it's like you need the pain to tell you, it's register, it's like a feedback from your body, what's going on. And we're in this time of being poisoned and stuff, and so then you need to know like what you need to do, like, oh, this is happening in my body, well, I need to do this, and you do that. Just like, you have to have like an attachment to it. It's like the tools you need at this time. That makes sense. Yeah. Because I was seeing it like in a video game, they go at these certain parts and go get tools and stuff. Oh yeah, I was seeing a big thing about the video games too, and about the creating the avatars. But I'll have to see, like, I don't remember that whole conversation. But and this was the other part that was linking to this is like there's the video, like, fuck, man, I don't know what the other things are like, but TikTok is fucking intense. And it's like I have minimal time on there, and I'll go on for like I don't know, depends on how busy I am or what I'm doing or whatever, because I can be doing just like, I don't even know, it's weird. And then I can be like, oh my god, it's been 3 hours that I've been, just going over here doing that and walking over there doing that. Like, I don't know, it's weird. And I start thinking, man, is it really making it this much busier to have 3 dogs? Like, this is weird. I feel like everything is like, whoa, whoa, let's go. So and it's depressing, and then it kind of also irritates me. Like, it's not a fun thing to me. And it totally is just going on and just trying to see like what's going on out in the world. What's happening out there, where's the shifts occurring, what's the movement of the energy. And so I'm going to tell you a couple of things I've seen. One of the trends is lots and lots and lots and lots of people are being diagnosed suddenly, all ages, very young people, sudden diagnoses, stage 4, you're done for. And so there's tons and tons of tears, tons of people falling apart. They're waiting to get their CMO, their CHMEO. Everybody's on the edge of their seat. Got to get those seat. It's like, these motherfuckers, like, oh, god damn. Can you imagine being that motherfucking greedy? Like, you're going to make all these people so sick so you can sell them something real quick. It's like, so you can sell it to them. Like, to try and make this money, but it's like the end of them. Like, this stuff is like, it's like, I have a wheeze that I keep hearing now. It's like, okay, if I can explain this right. It's like, I don't know. It's like you have to be able to see this. Like, it's going to sound just like, no, okay, stupid. But unless you get it. Like, I'm sure that there's some people who will get it. Okay, so, Diddy He has a tattoo on his back. And okay, and a full disclosure too, there's so much fucking fake videos out there. This whole thing with the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, they haven't even fought yet. Crystal said she's been waiting for this fight. It hadn't even happened yet. I can't even tell you how many videos I saw talking about this fight. And then when she told me this fight hasn't happened yet, I was like, my mind was spinning. For one thing, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I was, saying this and I didn't even know, but I'm not into boxing. So I'm not going to go like, oh, can't wait to see that. I don't, it's not something I'm into. And so I didn't go and research, did this fight really happen? I mean, there's so much stuff going on. And I saw so many videos. I was like, it made sense too. That Mike Tyson just boom, because I don't know how good a fighter Jake Paul has become or whatever, his whole thing is. I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff since I've ever even heard of that guy. There just has been so much stuff. Like, there's definitely people who think that he's a part of the thing. So I don't know. But, I mean, that's weird. Going from now he's a boxer and he's fighting Mike Tyson. Like, there's some weird shit for sure. And there's just a lot of weird stuff. I don't even remember it all. But there's definitely, over his time, there was people who didn't like him and who were those? There was two funny guys. This was before the sickness. And I used to watch them because my daughter liked them and she would show me their videos all the time and they were very funny. And they would talk about him sometime and talk about some of the shady stuff and this fakeness. So there's like a group of YouTubers that were like the up and comers of the time. Like, they were all out there and they even like had gatherings and stuff. Like, they would get together and meet each other and stuff. And some would be really rude and there was all different things and you'd hear different ones talk about it on their thing. So it was a whole thing, but it was before the sickness. Once the sickness, then I started watching YouTube, but I was watching all these people live, but I was watching a lot of Patriot people and stuff. That's when I started. It was a whole thing. I've talked about all this before. I've talked about it a lot of times, so I'm not going to go on that whole thing. But but when I had said that, I thought that the fight had already happened and he was really knocked out, and they made this whole thing about it, like several videos. And so then I like going through my process yesterday, like, oh my God, I can't believe I was saying that and it didn't even happen. I was like, God, I feel so stupid. And then I started thinking, who would do that? Like, it's weird. Like, we really seriously just have people who just, I got nothing to do today. I'm just going to go make fake videos about this situation and put them out. And I started thinking, what would make the most sense? It would be a PR thing to get attention to the fight or something, to be like getting people talking about, well, did the fight happen? Because they do these shenanigans, these PR shenanigans. But then there's so much weird stuff and there's so much weird videos that I started thinking it's like being overrun. It's almost like AI is shooting out strange, weird videos. And then yesterday I was getting so much confirmation about that. But that is another subject because that's when I go on to the hurricane thing. But right now I want to talk about the sickness thing because what is trippy is, and people are starting to realize this. I realized this a long while ago. I was a nurse at the time, and so I saw a lot of things from different perspectives being in the medical. But one of the things that really stood out to me that a lot of people are just now seeing was a girl who at the time I thought was my friend. But it's a whole fucking thing. She definitely, I don't know what to say. Like, I've had a bunch of friends that weren't the friends that I thought they were. And so, and to find out like how backstabby and stuff they were behind my back, and then to find the motivation behind jealousy and stuff like that. That's not, if you are feeling jealous and vindictive towards your friends, that's not your friend group. Like, that's not an emotion that friend groups have together. So you don't need to have a big list like, oh, I've got a whole group of friends. They're all friends. Like, no, that's toxic, man. Like, no, the people who you want to be friends with, it's like the same kind of relationships as like in any kind of intimate relationships. It's just like you have sexual ones and you have non-sexual ones, but they're all like this certain type of intimacy. And that is where people will start being driven into being into same-sex relationships and stuff, is the intimacy that is how they register. And then plus it has to do with your souls. Like the cutest motherfucking story just happened about the goddamn penguins. And they so over, where was that? I keep wanting to say the Netherlands. I don't know if that's where it was, but there's a zoo and they have all these penguins. And so 2 of the penguins became a gay relationship. There were 2 fellas and they loved each other. They acted just the same as like the other ones. So the zoo or the place, the sanctuary place or whatever, gave them an egg so that they could raise it and stuff. And they said that they were great parents, that they loved each other, and that they stayed together. They were together for 11 years. One of them just died, and it's super sad. It's like, I mean, it's super emotional. Because penguins, there's some birds like ducks and stuff that they mate, they have one mate and they stay together forever and they're very dedicated to each other. Geese, that's what's heartbreaking about them stealing these, some of these ducks and geese and stuff. It's like, it's very, you should just take their partner at the same time. Don't do that to them. It's sad as shit. What, I mean, because like there's a goose that got hit by a car, and the other one just sits there and sits there and sits there. They won't even go eat, won't go do anything. They'll just sit there and sit there waiting and waiting. So anyways, when the one penguin died, it was like there was something, so they decided that they needed to make sure that the partner got a C, so he understood what was happening. So emotional, man. So they brought his little dead body out there. And the penguin, just a sec. You'll see why I'm crying in a second. That they brought his little body out there. And the penguin went over, to mourn his partner. And all the penguins gathered around him and started singing. And it's like, fuck, where's our fucking, humanity has gone so lost. See, nature still has its compassion for each other. Humanity has been so distorted and so lost in all of this treachery that we have, we put ourselves through it. Like, we literally put ourselves through it. Like, we come here and that gets me too, because you hear all these people, like, there's spiritual people even out there, like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, I would not be born to put myself through this. It's like, well, you need to understand more how the universe works probably before you start saying it, teaching people about spirituality. So, yeah, you're not forced to come here. And all these storylines, like, you can have judgment towards a storyline, but that is because you are not of the higher, it's lower vibration. I don't think that you would feel as judgmental when you come out of the game, my guess. But maybe that's what some souls are doing here, is learning it. But there's no, like, how often do people go into a scary movie or a movie, like, those of us, we may typecast them. We may go like, oh my God, I can never see that guy anything other than a killer now. But in theory, it's the same thing. They're just playing a part. They're playing a part in a movie. And here, we're just playing a part. This stuff isn't real. And this is like a learning game, a learning role play game, kind of. So you get to go in, and because you learn from the impact of the situations, But you got to also be a part, you can't just throw in the towel and go sit and whine and cry in a corner. How it's too hard is too hard, life's too hard, which they have most people beat down to that point because most people are so confused as to what they are. There's an incongruency between their drive and their desire and the limitations of what is out there. So it creates this imbalance inside the being, and they don't have any idea. And then they go to the doctor and ask, what's making me feel so bad? And they hand them, a bottle of this and a bottle of that, a couple of these. And then the people get more off balance and more confused. And then they're caught in a system of going in and saying, this isn't working. What else can I do? And it's just they're chasing their tail at that point. They're not working on themselves. What you need to do is drop it all and go take time for yourself. Go on a fucking silent retreat by yourself. They'll be talking. There'll be plenty of talking. You won't be able to shut it off. The thing is you are in such a state that you have your emotions are charged. You've got, and that just brings in more confusion, more blah, 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 blah. They'll just start talking and talking and talking. And sometimes you got to say, shut the fuck up, break it the fuck off, and tell them, get the fuck out, man. Those are ringing my fucking ears. Like, you got to take control of your mind. Like, there's so many people here who just don't understand. And and you got to take time to rest. You got to go in and, God, it is like depressed. You need deep rest. You need to go take time to yourself, reevaluate your life, and get back in touch with yourself. Like, you're caught up in something. You're caught up in something you don't want to be. And that is why you got to let go of it. Your body is reacting. It's like your body's a sensor. And you got to start listening and reading what it's telling you. And this is the thing that gets me on this sickness thing. Because now you have all these people, so many people. And they kept saying this was coming. And it's scary, because, if you have any people who took that, when it's all iffy, it all is lot number 2 is like, I could go look up lot number and see what's going on with the rest of the people out of that one, but you gotta have, and then it's like a bunch of nunya, it's like where you gotta back off. It's like, this is this person's thing playing out, and I just have to, it's a challenge. It's a challenge to just be in a position where you understand everyone's just playing out their stuff. It's not for you to do this. Oh, you got to get that done. Well, if I'll help you with this. It's like, we're trying to juggle everything and juggle everybody's life because we don't want anybody to fall apart or get hurt or feel pain or whatever. And this is where the universe is taking it out of our hands. Like, if you've been a fixer, if you ran around in life trying to fix things, I'm sure you got to be feeling so stressed. And but that's where the universe is giving you this opportunity to work on that, because you got to build yourself up. You got to figure out, like, challenge yourself. Like, okay, I'm just gonna, they've got to go and they've got to do this themselves. That will happen. What's gonna happen is gonna happen. I can't do anything about it. It's out of my hands. And they've got to just go, and this is their lessons, and I've got to let them learn their lessons. And whatever their lessons are, like, you don't know. Like, in our minds, we can be like, we build it up like, oh God, it's a crisis. Like my daughter, like right now, the one is going to pick up my other daughter. So thank God she's coming home now. But she was flying towards the hurricane. And I was like, all day yesterday, I'm like sending her things. And there's all these videos popping up, the airlines are closed down, this and that, like all this crazy shit. And so I'm sending her all this stuff, and she sends me a thing, and she says her flight pattern, she shows me, she sends me her flight pattern. And she flew from Seattle up to Vancouver, across to Chicago, and then down to, I think it's North Carolina. I was asking her, but I think she was sick of me, like, terrorizing her. So, but I was like, you got to know what's happening, where you're going. You got to look it up. Go look up what the weather, do some research, find out if flights are being canceled or whatever, because she didn't know about any of that was going on. So she went and checked, and she said everything looked good and stuff. And so she just messaged me, and she said she just landed. So it's like, oh, Okay, thank God. One part of it's over. So now she's got her. And, or now she's in the same general area. So now she'll get her. And then they still got to fly home. So, well, there's just so much going on. And then I was like, okay, so once you get home, I'll stop worrying about that. I'll just go back to worrying about the volcano that's sitting above you. Like, God damn. This is so fucking intense. And then it's like, I got my own, in between worrying about the volcanoes going on, then I'm worrying about, like, what am I going to pack if we start getting evacuated and stuff. And this is another thing on this fake video shit, because there's something just so strange. And so there's so many people who, I don't know what the deal is. I don't even know all these different cities, like all these different cities all over Florida. What I know about Florida is it's, the landscape's going to change. The water's going to rise. And I think in some places it's going to rise a lot. And the reason I say that, because it's weird on the map, it doesn't, on the new map, it's still there. There's just parts that are gone, but it's not like the whole of Florida is gone, like Louisiana. Louisiana is going to be, a lot of Louisiana is gone off of there. And then there's other places by Mississippi where they're gone. But but Florida, you'd think it would be like gone. California would be gone, but in Florida's like hanging out there like that. But there's a part on the map that still is there, so it's still going to be some of Florida, I guess. But so the water is going to keep raising and raising. But the thing is with Florida is that they were already about, the water was already raising. They have to have these systems to pump the water out in some areas all day long. So these expensive systems to be pumping the water out, because it's already, they would be living in a flood. So then they go to all these extremes. So, that's one thing is like, well, we should just all move back and just let it do its natural thing, huh? But that would be us going in harmony with the earth and trusting. But people are like, no, that's my house. I bought money. That's my home. And so they get us too invested. So we get invested through this monetary system into purchase. And then we think that this is what we own and this is what we have to have, when all of the earth is ours. We don't have to. And then once we get into sync with the universe, oh, they took something from you, they're going to give it back to you. So but most people, they don't get into that trust. They get into, and it's going to give back, but something better. And the reason it took it is because it was not in alignment with you. And so but most people, they panic, they don't trust the universe, so it turns into, this whole thing. I didn't even finish talking about the sickness shots. Okay, so let me finish this sickness thing before I do that. Oh yeah, because the weird fucking videos, because I've seen so many fucking weird videos. And I'm just like, okay, there's something that is just pumping out fucking fake videos. Like, when an account just all of a sudden starts in all their videos, you go look at all their videos and they're all this dramatic stuff with the flood. It's like, so you've never videotaped anything, and there's all these people now, their whole account is just, this terrorizing and the water's rising and all of this stuff. And then this whole thing about the news saying, if you stayed, you need to go get a Sharpie and write on your information on your thing so you're easy to identify. And which I was like, well, that's some shenanigans. If that's going to be their thing that they're going to use to identify, well, that'd be real easy. Like, I imagine when shit like this happens, that these storms, I imagine, especially there's a group of people who are heavy into needing disposable places. You get my drift? Like, they've got a lot of stuff to dispose of, a lot of organic matter to dispose of. What a better situation. And then what, you just write anybody's name on there. Oh, yeah, I bought it. I don't know. There's so much shady shit. Our government is so motherfucking shady. I can't even believe we let these fucking monsters make our rules for us. And then we try so hard to follow the rules because we don't get in trouble. And they're going to make us pay money if we... And they're just that fucking shenanigans, man. What some bullshit. And he's like, yeah, this major malarkey, man. Then so back on the sickness, because I want to finish that. So on that, so you see all these people who are crying. They've all got these diagnoses, stage 4. Oh yeah, because on the friend thing that I had seen, so she was dating this guy she had met, and she really liked him. Now I don't know, they've been going out for a couple months, I think. And he had a little girl, like a 3-year-old little girl, and she really liked the little girl. She really liked the guy. And then one day she said they were laying in bed and she was like rubbing across his stomach. And she was like, wait a minute, you have a lump there. And he was like, I don't remember the whole conversation or whatever. She said, you need to go to the doctor and get that checked. She was also a nurse. She still is. And then, so he went to the doctor, got it checked, find out it was stage 4, tumor size of a football on his liver or something like that. And he was perfectly healthy. Like everything was fine with him until he went and got the diagnoses. And it's like something happens. That's why I've said it a bunch of times. I've said it and said it. Don't go get your diagnoses. It fucks with your head. And now people are starting to notice, because within a couple weeks he was gone. And he did not want to leave his daughter. And within a couple weeks, his sickness just went boom. And this is where they trick people. It's not your sickness, it's your mind. You don't know how much your mind plays on your reality. And so as soon as you start realizing like, oh my God, I'm sick. Oh my God, that hurts. Oh God, you just like, your mind goes there. And then I've said it's really hard when you start thinking, oh, I'm so sick. I'm so sick. I'm so glad that the hep C thing, like I didn't know anything about it until I had healed myself, because it would have fucking 100% played with my mind, because I had already had that programmed in. Like, you die unless you do these expensive treatments, and the shots are like $1,600, and this whole thing, the stuff that they do to make us sick is because the stuff is so expensive to make us better. And so I'm glad that I had the experience of not knowing I had this diagnosis and then healing myself, because then that gave me this understanding of like, our bodies just do this by themselves. They don't need us to even tell. They don't need the doctor to tell them. The body's going at it 24/7. The body's in there processing and filtering and taking care. It's running like a machine. So they want us to think, something different. The problem is that people interfere the disruption of their machine because they don't fill it right. They don't feed it right. They don't take care of it right. And they've been taught wrong. So it's not like they're just doing it wrong. They've been taught wrong, and they trust what they were taught. And so that's why there's going to be a big part of the awakening on that, on health, and how people take care of themselves, lifestyle. So anyways, I'm seeing all these different people, these young people who have their diagnosis, they're all crying. They're waiting to start their CHMEO treatments. And I'm always writing in their comments, to do natural, do some research. There's all sorts of people, there's so many people. If you get into that algorithm, that they went into the doctor says, there's nothing left we can do. You're stage 4. You got a matter of weeks left. And they go home defeated. And it's like, well, what do I got to lose now? And start doing like, and so many people don't even realize all yet, haven't even put it all together about the detoxing, the parasites, the minerals and stuff. So they just go in and start doing all these like natural teas and stuff. And that's where like the Syac or however you say, the Syac tea, soursop, like there's these different ones, and they're all like this parasitic cleanse stuff. So that is, got to think about bugs in all levels and how we want to kill them. And see, they try and do like a bug bomb inside of us or something, and most people can't. Their bodies are already so overrun by the other stuff, so it's like too much. But there's all sorts of lessons, because then you, if that's what did you in, and you go your life review, you would see it, and you would see the error of your ways. You would see like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have done that. I should have done this. But you learn from those things. You learn from your choices. There's consequences. Like, man, I still, uh, um, seeing how I made the choices at the time when I started that relationship choices, like if you don't, give your undying love and tell me how important I am to you, then I'm not going to tell you. But then I can also see, like I can see the entanglement. Like that's been made to me. Like there was an entanglement, and that's what, but the entanglements are always going to be there. That's a part of our existence. And so they're the contracts, like, and so in that entanglement, there was lessons for him too. And I think that he's kind of hanging out with me now too, with some lessons that he learned. But like there's things that I've shown and told and stuff like that. But anyways, so these people that get this these diagnoses, and they're all like surrendering to the medical system, save me, save me, save me, save me, and falling apart. Like there's lessons behind that. There's lessons that people go and see, and the choices that they made. And so, it's hard, but, it's way more like there's like time really fucks with us, where we think like we're missing out on time with these people and stuff. But it's like your people are always with you, and it's like they're always around. And it's not like they're just always there. Like they can be in other places, but they can be there in like a split second. I don't know how. It's weird, but we're all very, very connected. It's like as soon as you think of something, it's there for you. And so so let me think. Okay, so all the people who are sick, and then they're just surrendering to the medical, when there's this whole thing with the natural. But the thing is that, like, you got to let your body do the healing. It's like the same thing what I was talking about with the depression or whatever. You got to take time to let your body heal. So on all of these things where, like when people are getting these serious sicknesses, there's also some emotional mind play in there, and you got to be healing. It's everything is mind, body, spirit. People have got to see like your emotions, your spiritual like emptiness. It has an effect on your health, and so you have to manage those. You have to heal. You have to face your demons. You have to let go of shit. And that's where, you'll find better health, and you'll find peace of mind. And so it's an important part of the relieving yourself of your old patterns, your old behaviors. And so it's a transition into you making better choices for yourself. But you got to learn from the different things. So you have to go in and reevaluate. You have to go and reflect on your choices and the things that you feel pain about. Like the things that's where you can always find your breadcrumbs. It's where you feel an emotional charge. And that is where you'll see like the triggers that come in are emotionally charging something that is inside of you. That's what the trigger comes in for. So it's to help you find the thing. But most people get mad at the trigger puller, and they go like, oh, they're such an asshole. And people don't realize that the spiritual gratitude is you should have when somebody triggers you, but also people don't realize like that that your perspective, the way you see things, people always think that other people see things the way they see them. It's like, no, nobody sees the things the way you see them. Everybody sees the things differently. And you, it's like people, there's so much of projection. So somebody does or says something, and they send it out, and then you receive it, then you think, oh, this is what they meant. This is how they meant it. This is what they're saying. Like you receive. And when you have certain areas inside of you that are uh, flawed, comes up, but also that are raw, flaw and raw, that they are the trigger point, and that is your wound. That is what you need to go in and heal, because then it's a wound to you. So it's the same thing as like if somebody comes up and poke, like you got a shot or something in your arm or something, and somebody comes up and pokes it, and then it hurts. So then you you push back or something. It's the same kind of thing. And okay, it's so weird sometimes because I'll be like, what the hell are you talking about? And then I'll get lost. It's like, I don't know. What am I talking about? Like, okay, hold on. Let me see what I'm talking about. Let's see. So the emotional, so the trigger, the emotional wound is what is hit by the things that they say. But see, this is a contracted event. They are meant to say this stuff to you. And then you will have the reaction you have, and at some point when you realizing you start having a different reaction, you'll look back at all the old ones and go like, oh my god, why didn't I see that before? Why didn't I see? And you'll drive yourself crazy. That's why I say, try and really catch yourself, because the more that you pile onto you're not seeing, the more that you get mad at yourself. You won't be mad at everybody else, you'll just be mad at yourself. And who wants to carry more anger around at themselves? You got to be letting go of this shit. So so when the trigger, when the person does the thing and you think it's like they see your weakness, and this is something that is like, it's just so weird when you can start seeing yourself different than you saw yourself before. It's very trippy. It's very trippy when you when you think like, of different people who've got mad at you over things. And then you're like, I don't understand how they got mad at me about that or whatever. But then when you start realizing, oh, it's a projection. Like sometimes like they think I'm judging them, or they're comparing themselves to me, or they think that I think I'm better than them and stuff. This is all coming from inside the person. And so when you have people who have had those kind of reactions to you, then you just got to start realizing it's like, oh, it's because they had wounds that they hadn't. It wasn't me. I wasn't doing anything wrong. It was they had wounds and they didn't want anybody to see. And then they think like I saw, or just them seeing me do something makes them see their wounds because they can't do that or something. Like it's very intricate over these reactions and these interactions that we have together. The person who's playing certain parts will have no awareness as how this other person is taking them. So you don't even realize like how this other person is taking you. You're taking, like you're looking at things in a very different way. But that is a thing where we all have to get very, he's snoring over there, the littlest one. He's so fucking cute. And he has this little tiny nose, and it is very snory because it's such a little tiny snore. Stella's got such a big snore. Max snores sometimes too. Max is such a little wild boy. Now I see like this other little guy. He's just like, hey, let's just chill. I'm just gonna lay here. He does get up and play. Like it is cute when the two of them start playing because they're like around the same size. Neither of them wants to play with Stella. Both of them, as soon as Stella starts playing, they just drop. Like, I don't want to get hurt. Do you want to get hurt? I don't want to get hurt. Like, so, anyways, and poor Stella. But I play with her. I play tug of war with her, and she's such a sweet girl. Yesterday, or in the middle of the night, I was telling her what a good mama she is. Now she's advanced to the level of being a mama. Now she's a mama over them. And it is kind of cute because I was thinking it is cute because we went out walking yesterday. I had them 3 leashes. And it was like Stella is the mom and Max is her little husband, and then they have this little baby. But the baby has got Morty's eyes, I swear to God. But he looks exactly like Stella, so it does kind of look like a mix between the two of Max and Stella. It's just funny. It's kind of like, I'm telling you, it's like a cartoon. I swear to God, I feel like my life has turned into a cartoon. And So anyways, that's the thing is that people don't realize, like, and when you go and listen to these testimonials on these people who have been sick and went with the natural, that how quick things can turn around. Like they can turn around super fast. Like people can be like, "Well, you're gonna be dead in a couple weeks," and then like a month later, they're still kicking. So then the doctor's like, "Well, come in, let's run some labs," and then there's nothing, and it's all from doing this natural stuff. So, and there's tons of these stories, unless they're all fake videos. Like you can't trust shit. No, the natural and holistic thing, that is going to keep going in that direction. That's the direction we're going. These other people are fighting against it and relying on this other system that's out to get them. And the thing is like when you go into the natural, you just got to just take care of yourself and just give your body time to heal. And that's what we all have to be doing. Like we are all being poisoned every single motherfucking day. And people just don't realize it. So you've got to be doing this detoxing and all of that stuff all the time. I do it all the time, and they're still kicking my ass with these fucking chemicals, man. That's just what fucking gets me. It's like you fucking go outside for a little while, and then you come in and you're sick as a motherfucker. It's like, that's just some fucking bullshit, man. And then plus, we should be able to go out and enjoy nature and the outdoors and stuff. That what would make the most sense is they don't want us out there. They don't want us to feel good. They don't want us to be connected. That they know, like, going out and that raises your vibration. A lot of people in the cities and stuff, like, they don't know that because when they go outside, it's just all concrete and other energies bouncing off this concrete that are in a hurry. They got to get to work. I've got things to do. I hate that bitch. You've got all this going around you, just and you're just like walking. I gotta get to work. I feel so anxious. I don't know what's wrong with me. It's like, oh, because it's the environment, man. It's the environment. And then you're breathing in these toxins and fucking going into your brain. So it's about a fucking shit show. We're in this fucking shit show. So okay, I finished that rant on the sickness. Because the thing is like, you got to get it in your mind that when you're taking care of yourself, it takes more time. There's not a quick fix. The quick fix is an illusion. Your body's telling you something's wrong. You need to take time to register. And when you go in and you start focusing on taking care of yourself, more than likely you're going to start having some shit's going to pop up from the past. Old memories, old situations. You're going to relive some stuff. And that it's going to, be traumatic for you. And it's going to bother you. But those are the things, like your body's holding on to things and you don't realize how it's affecting them. Like you can put it out of your mind, but your body is being drugged down by carrying all of this anger and shit around. So it's going to purge it out. And so you'll be purging emotional things. Everything is mind, body, spirit when you get into what's real. And you're a whole functioning factory. So you got to have everything running right. And so you will, you need to take the time to yourself. And I know everybody's like, I don't have time. I'd have to take vacation time. I don't even have any vacation time. I don't have any money. I don't have this. I don't have that. That's how they have you trapped. That's how they keep you trapped. Is because you have to be like, my health is more important than any of this shit. Like, it is very important to realize, like, what do you have if you don't have your health? Like, what do you have, really? And so your health has got to be the most important. You'll always get things back. People get so scared of losing their things. I've lost my things before. My daughter lost her stuff in a fire. And there was a bunch of my stuff. And then when it's art and stuff like that, it'll be things like, oh my God. So but loss is like, you got to go through the emotional purge of what it is that you're holding on to, because there's nothing you can take. Like, if you're going to hold on to all this, then what do you think happens at your life review? How long do you think you're stuck in the goddamn purgatory place trying to let go of all of the things that you couldn't let go of? So it's like the universe is giving you this opportunity to start letting go of things and learning, like, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Even if you lose your house, you're going to be okay. There'll be another house up in the future. There'll be some lessons in the pathway, and that has to do with it. And maybe, maybe you're too caught up. Maybe you think like life is only if you have, three bedroom, 2-car garage house. I couldn't live without it. And then the universe is going to show you, well, yeah, you can live without that. We'll show you. And then maybe you're going to find yourself needing to be a squatter or living in a tent or living in a 1-bedroom squalor apartment or something, and find your happiness, find your truth still, when you don't have the things that you think that you need to make you happy. So it's this period of time is this major reevaluation. It's a major reset on priorities. And so, that's what we're experiencing. That is this fucking tidal wave of energy that is going through, is bringing so much stuff through our lives to bring all these things to the surface. And it's all written. It's all pre-designed. So, that's where you got to just really, I don't know, so many people get so caught up in everything that they do is creating the next moment. The next moment's created for you already. This is going to happen. You're not creating the next moment. You're creating how you look at the next moment. You're creating your attitude about the next moment. And, there can be expectation, and that it can be a driving force to depression. You keep hoping and hoping that something, like kind of like how it is right now, where it's like we're being drugged through this, like, hoping that things are going to get better. But it isn't about hoping things are going to get better. It's about knowing things are going to get better. And things are going to get better. And but for some people, like, some people are going to leave during this shift. So I can't say, well, everything's going to be better for everybody. Some people are going to leave this fucking game. Some people are out. They're, Audi 500 or whatever that is. They're going to be out of here. And it's not, a bad thing or shame on them or they failed or they're not going to ascend now or any of that. That's where you got to get into your relationship with the universe and learn how to trust. Like, there's all different ways of evolving. So don't think that the way you're evolving is the only way to evolve. There's plenty of people who've learning all sorts of lessons, going to their life review, and they're successful. There's martyrs. There's all sorts of shit going down, man. And there's martyrs on the big stage. There's martyrs on the small stage. All sorts of people that are leaving to promote other people's lessons and stuff. And so there's a lot of really cool stuff happening on the spiritual front of things. And but anyways, if you're trying to heal yourself, you really do need to take time to yourself. You need to just give up on all the things. Give up on the executive job and making all the money, having the high-rise apartment stuff. That's probably not the direction that your soul came here. You got caught up in in desires and trying to control things. As if it was meant to be what you were here for, you would be riding that wave. It wouldn't be you having to just like fucking climb this mountain, fall back down, climb this mountain, fall back down. It's like the energy will just take you where you need to go. But when you keep fighting it, it wants to take you over here on a ship and you want to climb this mountain and you keep fighting it. Yeah, it's going to knock you down enough times to where you're going to fall and you have to stop. And you are like, this is this moment that we're in. There is, for all these different people, these come to Jesus moment when you're just knocked down for the umpteenth time and you're looking up like, what do you want from me? What am I supposed to do? And that is, that's when you create this shift. And some people, like, there's plenty of people, like me. I got a brain injury. There's people who are paralyzed. There's people who are amputees. There's people who are sickness. All of that stuff is to bring you back, get you off of where you think you're going and bring you back and get you back on track. So, and I was off track. Like, I thought I was going in this totally different direction. I was going in a very different direction. And then, got a brain injury and I had to go through all the healing and stuff. And then then all of a sudden you find yourself like, I'm on a totally different path. And this one feels right. The other one, it always felt wrong. Nothing felt right. It always felt like a struggle. I always felt frustrated. And this one just feels right. It just feels peaceful. It just feels like, yeah. But I've learned how to relax and let the universe open itself to me instead of me keep chipping away and digging and like, I got to make the next minute is up to me. I got to do this, instead of just being able to sit back and go like, yeah, this is what I'm here for. So that is, the trophy, the winning thing about it is not, because, oh, now you're perfect or something. No, it's peace. You'll find peace. And what do we want? We want peace. We want peace of mind. So yeah, when you're going in the right direction, you're going to feel peaceful. When you're going in the wrong direction, you're going to feel frustrated. You're going to feel like you just keep trying, you're getting nowhere. So it's up to you to start realizing before, your car crashes and you're stuck in the hospital with nothing to do but think and you lost a leg. So being more in sync with yourself, more in communication. So when your body is telling you, it's sick and it's got all these disease in it and it's depressed and it's down and it's done. It's tired of fighting. First off, I would fucking be detoxing as motherfucker and be doing some cleansing, and I would be reevaluating my lifestyle and start trying to think of some healthy alternatives of some choices that I made probably, and start really going in a direction like that. There's so many people at this point have done the research and it's all out there for you. These different teas, these different herbs and stuff that can heal you. There was people who had to figure all that out. And so we've had those people leading the forefront. They're out there carrying this torch for us. So they are the ones who, there's plenty of them out there you can turn to. And they're being very shut down. They're being very quieted. But it's going to do that same thing, is that they are trying to dim their light, but when the light comes on, it's going to shift. It's going to be huge. So it may take a lot of more work now to try and find these people and stuff and find good information, but just keep going. Like I said, I still like that like metaphor though. Don't do Jake Paul, because I did see those videos. Like that videos, it's weird. It's weird. Like they're creating realities in realities or something. Oh my God, there was a movie about that, I think, that they're putting out right now. But it is like they're creating realities in realities. It's weird. So anyways, but focusing on your health, but taking time to yourself, not thinking, well, I'm going to run in, I'm going to go get my, what is that thing called? Might run in and get my infusion for your CHMEO. And now they even have it convenient, just take one of these. You can do it at home. But when you do that treatment, so many people think, just keep going with their life. Don't make any changes. Just do this. This is what the doctor told me. It's not like anybody can do it wrong or right. We're evaluating these things ahead. So when you are going towards these things, I'm trying to give reference to people so that when they get in these positions, they're like, oh yeah, I heard that one lady, she said, to really get focused on my, your emotional health. Well, letting go of things, you just don't even realize how much effect that's going to have on your body. It's going to be huge. So, and that is where you're going to all of a sudden feel like, oh, I'm floating. This is what they mean with a higher vibration. I'm not even, it is like you'll start feeling like, oh, fuck, I don't feel as dense, as heavy. I don't feel as burdened. I feel lighter. I feel happier. I feel better. And then your body will start showing it. And the body will be like, hell yeah, we are feeling better. We're feeling good. But no matter what, 100%, they are flooding us with stuff that we need to get out of us. It's clogging our filter system. It's messing with our blood. It lets people getting blood cancer and stuff like that. It's so, you do have to realize who's going after us and what they're doing to do it. So, but then on this other thing that I think is strange. So yesterday, I started seeing all these videos with the, hurricane. And it started being strange because there started being almost like a narrative. Like these people all kept saying like the same kind of things. And I was like, okay, this definitely seems weird. It seems scripted. And there seems to be an angle. It seems to be they're trying to drive us in a certain direction, like move us in a way of looking at something, like to get us to see it the way they want us to see it. And so one thing is, I think with them to come out and say, get a Sharpie and write that on you is one way of, being like, I guess you should listen to us. When we tell you to jump, you jump. When we tell you to move, to evacuate, you do it. Like, to really put the terror into people. Because that really did have some effect on people. And there was people drowning and stuff. And then I saw a woman who was terrorized. She was like devastated. She couldn't even talk. She's bawling. She just has words in front of her. And she was on live with all these people who were there. And people were being electrocuted by touching the water. Because there's like lines down. And so all this water, so you're surrounded by all this water and it's electrified and there's explosions going off all over because the one guy who was about to step in it and they're like, no, it's electrified. And people were dying from it. There was one woman who said, my neighbor is drowned. And the water was already coming so far up in their houses. And these videos were all like they were shocked. Like they couldn't even believe it. And like this one was coming down. I just saw this one this morning. So they're coming down this morning. And so they were upstairs and coming in. Their upstairs is like to the, let's see, their staircase had like stairs going up, a landing, and then stairs going up. The water was up to this landing and all their stuff was like going in the house. And then if that water is electrified, and then it would be how far, like, remember, well, I don't know what they taught you guys in school. What they taught us was there was conductors and non-conductors. So like if you had rubber boots and you were standing there, as long as the rubber was what was touching the electricity, then I think that the electricity couldn't move through it or something. And then there was like wood, like there's different conductors and non-conductors. I don't remember the whole thing about it, but if you were to just touch the water with your bare skin, then I think you would get electrified. And there's a whole thing too about how a current has to move through you and how it has to have a way to come out the other side. If the current can move through you and come out the other side, then from what I understand, it generally doesn't kill you. And it just electrocutes you. Like I've been electrocuted. Mine was, but it was by 110. But I was a little kid too. In my bedroom, the light bulb I was changing the light bulb and it had broke off and I didn't know, that meant something. So the light bulb had broke off and the silver part was in the thing. So I stuck my thumb in to turn it, to pull it up and got electrocuted. It fucking hurts like a motherfucker. I've had so many times when I've almost been electrocuted. So like it's horrible. And, so I'm thinking, how I was standing and I don't know, I would think how my arms were. Something about, I don't know, you can look up that stuff, if you're curious about it. So, but anyways, in these different videos, so it was like a lot of drama. There was like all these different people who were saying that they were staying, but then there was like I said, there seemed to be like they were all saying the same thing. Where I was like, is this real? Like, are they putting out videos like to say certain things so that we see certain things that are certain? Like, I don't know. There's something really weird. Like, there was even one where it was this couple. And it was just showing, like, they have their phone over here, and it's just showing them in their RV around the little island thing. So, in their the guys on one side of the little island vacuuming, and the ladies on the other side, messing with dishes or something. And they've just got words. And then they said, just in here trying to decide what we're going to do to ride this hurricane out in our RV. I'm like, your home with all your shit is on wheels. All you got to do is drive a little ways, and you're going to sit here and say you're going to sit here and ride this out. The videos this morning shows like cars, trucks, everything. There was one video, like this was a video, and this girl did a whole bunch of them. She's just watching out her window. She's bawling her head off. Like all these people bawling and crying and stuff, like, so she's bawling her head off. She's showing this car. It's bouncing and bouncing. She's saying, that truck just already went out. My car is about to go out into the ocean. And I'm just like, it's weird. Like, aren't you guys all like, you would think like all of you guys know exactly what happens in a hurricane. Like, we see this stuff happen on the footage. Like, I haven't experienced it, but like, you'd think if you lived in the place where it happens all the time. So I don't know, but they're all crying and, oh, my stuff is being ruined. Oh, I don't have insurance. Oh, what am I going to do? Oh, well, we got another hurricane coming next week too, so be prepared. But yeah, the ones with the RV, like, why would you, like, are you trying to get us to all go against, like, there seem to be like a lean in against independency. Like, really get us to be scared, and we gotta, like insurance, and we gotta, with our, like living in an RV, that's dangerous. It's like, how is that fucking dangerous? You get some gas and drive to a place where it's safe. Park there. After the storm, drive back. If there's a place still to park it when you drive back. Like, it's gonna take a while for some of these places to dry out, I imagine. Some of these places are really flooded. And they were flooding before the hurricane even landed. And like, there's places in North Carolina that are flooded. Asheville. I saw footage of Asheville. That's where my sister used to live. Well, she doesn't live there now. Now she lives in Charleston, I think. I don't know what's going on there. But I saw lots of different places that were flooded and stuff. But, man, Asheville was very, like, it was just water and trees. Like, I didn't even see any houses, tops of buildings. So there was places where they were saying the water was going to come up like 20 feet. And in some of these places where these people are having it up, it was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet. It's the first landing on the stairs. But they were already having them. It was coming in their houses last night. And they were all, it's just weird. I don't know. It was just really weird. It was like a totally weird energy where I was like, it seems so artificial. And it also, I don't know if that was just kind of registering like that for me, because I was fresh off the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight. Hadn't happened yet. And all the videos I had seen on that. And then there keeps being more and more. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is what I was going to say. Okay. So like, Diddy has some big tattoo on his back, and this person who it's like if you tattoo a martyr on your back or something, like you put I don't even know who she is, but like if you put Mother Mary or whatever, but whoever this person is that he put on his back, she's the protector of women and children. So I saw somebody from Creole. This is how I even saw about this tattoo. She's from Creole. And she's like, yeah, if you're Creole, you know, like what's up with that tattoo. Like, you saw this coming. His tattoo, like, so anyways, this is how, things turn around. So he puts this tattoo of the protector on his back, and then he goes and injures them. And so of course he's going to go down. And but this is how things are going to twist. And it's just kind of trippy, as like, you've got these martyrs and gods and stuff in play at this time. So it's very spiritual, this battle. And so that I thought was really interesting, that I mean, why would he even put that tattoo on his back? Like, if you're the devil who's taking him down, like, is this you're trying to find balance in yourself or something? It's very strange. Like, some of these things are so strange. So Oh, I saw the rest of that one girl's story, and how she got away was, she heard loud in her head, "Go towards them." And she spoke back, and she said, "How do I go towards them? They're coming at me." And the voice told her again, "Go towards them." And she realized, "Oh, I'm up against the wall." So she did. She lunged towards them to go, and that threw them. So they just like, "What?" And kind of fell back because they're real drunk. And she said there was like 9 other girls there who had been sipping that stuff. And that is supposedly all this 1,000 bottles of body oil is really this, like they had that much drugs. Like, and I don't know if it it absorbs through the oil. Like, I don't know, all this weird shit. So, but when she pushed through them or just lunged towards them to get, uh, she just took off and went out, and she went and hid in another room, but somehow got back contact with her friend. But I think I haven't heard all the different parts, but I think her manager might have been assaulted, but her manager doesn't remember because she was on the drink. So the manager had no, but the girl, see, she had picked up already. This is where people have got to realize that's your communication, that's your guides. That's when they're telling you, run, do this, don't drink that. That is your guidance. And for one thing, it's because that's what she was there to experience, was to see all this. She wasn't there to experience, to have it be done to her. Like, we all have certain experiences that are there for us. So pay attention to your voices, though. The voices are trying to guide you through this game, the game of choices. But it's like your higher self already made the choices, but now it's like watching them. It's more of a visual. So it's because the story's written. You can't change the story. And even though you have all these spiritual people saying, I'm telling you, the thing that you change is how you look at things. That's what you have control over, is how you look at things, how you express yourself, how you behave in the worst situations. Do you fall apart? Do you become angry? Do you become a shoulder for others? Are you true to yourself? Like, all of these different things are for you to find yourself, to zone in on who you are. So so anyway, oh yeah, okay, so that was a weird thing on, like, these things are coming, I don't know, it's like this full circle. It's like everything is coming into play. I feel like that this flip is so close. It feels like it's just like, oh, at any moment, it's just like this thing is going to be like, change everything. And, and now all this stuff coming out on the Kamala, like, in her family heritage. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, this is so funny because, if you were listening to Donald there for a while, he tried to really talk about that in that certain party that really race plays and tries to, and then it's, of course, they're going to really show that. All the things that he said were precursors to the things they're going to show. So, of course, they're going to show that big bold letters like Candace Owens. She definitely tried. Tucker. There's a lot of these people who are all playing parts in this deal, but it is, the only thing that gets me is like, it's so focused on religion still. And religion is very, I don't know, it's like a prehistoric version of being able to look at creation. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's curious. I'm just curious to watch how this all plays out, to see how all these things start shifting and falling apart, especially when you have some of the people who are, up on these certain levels or certain stages that are bringing certain information, and then when that information is proved to be false, and not just on the disclosure stuff, because there is like so much truth that is being spilled out, and they're using all these different people to bring all this information, but and I don't know if it's like a safety net, if it's like the only way, because it is true. Like, definitely over time, when I was a spirit, when I would just say, when people say, well, are you a Christian? And I would say, no, I'm spiritual. And they'd be like, well, what's that? I'd be like, do you believe in God? Because the only way that they can understand God is through religion. So when you say you're spiritual, they think that you just don't believe in God. You just don't believe in Jesus. You don't believe. And it's like, I believe all this stuff. I just believe it's different than what they say. And I don't believe, I don't align with the God that they're offering. I go with the God that I feel inside my heart and my soul. And that God doesn't need me to go to any fucking church and be a part of that. It's like a phony frenzy. It's like there's authentic people there, but there's plenty of people who aren't. So, and I just don't think that I think there's a lot of people who don't realize the depth of their inauthenticity to be calling themselves a Christian. And it's like, but you're very self-absorbed. You're very, so anyways, but that's a whole thing, like where people can hide from themselves, hide from everybody through the church, and, you just, all you gotta do, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. It's like, okay, they're a Christian. They believe in God, so they're obviously a good person. And, but anyways, when people would say stuff and you try and be like, no, I'm spiritual. No, I believe in reincarnate, that people just couldn't even, like, that's why I started saying, well, I'm Buddhist. And, so I'm believe in reincarnation. Like, you had to have some kind of authoritative figure to back you up. And so so then people would be just like, that was weird as fuck. And then when you say, like, you don't believe in Christianity and you believe in God, they think it's like a different God. It is kind of a different God because you guys are creating something that isn't real. There's like the natural creator, or like a lot of people call source. To me, it's like the nucleus of all things. It's like everything is like I said, it's all these like nucleuses and everything comes from it. And so, yeah, you go all the way back to the top of the pyramid. You could say, if you pulled it all back in, yes, this is the creator. This is God. This is what created it all. And that is, but we are what was created. We are a part of. So when we pull back, then we are what God is. But we are out experiencing what experience is, because that's what God wants, is it created experiencers to experience what it is to be alive. And that's what we are. And that's why there's such reverence for anything you do. It's not looked at like, oh, you're a bad one or you're a good one. No, it's all states of experience. So the source of all things, that's why to me, it's just this vastness of the universe. It's an energy, and it is what we're all a part of. So that is how I understand it and have understood it for a long time. Like, I've always said, well, the universe. When people say like, oh, God or whatever, I'm always like, well, the universe. But that was another thing when people be like, what are you talking about, the universe? It's like, it's all in how you look at things. So I think that maybe is like a step down, because that really is, the majority of people don't know how to understand spiritual or God or anything without that limitation, without that parameter, through the Christian lens. And so, if it's going to go through, God's real through the Christian lens, and all of a sudden the lens is going to go, and then some people will have a relationship with God and it will be not too uncomfortable. Other people, it's going to throw them. It's going to be like, well, what the fuck? What? You're going to be really thrown for a loop. So you keep seeing these little things flying around. So anyways, but that's all a part of the awakening. It's all a part of people's lessons. It's all a part of what, people have to go through or whatever. So, we're still in that. We're still in it. We're still in it, and we're going to be in it for a while. Because, for some of us, it's going to feel good when this flip happens. But for others, that's going to be the catalyst to their dark night. It's going to be very jolting to them. But for those of us who've been awake watching this, who've been doing the work, because that's this other thing too. The people who have been awake but have been really judgmental, oh, they're all stupid, they're all NPCs, they're all this, they're all that. Those people, I think, because they're not really awakened to the spirituality part of things, because your spirituality part of things will start leading you in a way to open your mind and see beyond what it is that you feel. So you have to be open to that, because your feelings keep you trapped. That is all part of this, the trap of the depth of pain and suffering in the depth of that, the vibration, the darkness, the heaviness. And that is, but it's also a necessity, because like I said, it's like the tools that you need through this part of the game. In this part of the game, this is what you need: your pain and stuff. You need your body to be telling you, oh, you got a problem. Oh, you're so but you got to learn how to listen to it. But the problem is so many people, they see their body as an interference to the life they're trying to lead. Like their body's not keeping up. It's like your body's trying to pull you back to reality. That's what's going on. You're trying to drag your body through the fucking bullshit. And your body is like, no, like stop. And because your body is it's a representation of, it's like a representation of self. Like it's speaking to you for yourself. Like it's like a communication tool for your soul. But you got to participate in the communication. So you got to recognize like what your body is trying to tell you. And the one lady who broke her leg, she's got a big old fucking cast on. This lady is so small and so skinny, and this cast is huge. And so now she's doing these videos showing how to exercise in your wheelchair. But that's good. I mean, that's why I said, when you do something, this is where you got to humble yourself. And you got to be like, humbling yourself is the way to go. To try and fight it and get an ego and, oh, how dare. Instead, you got to just be like, fuck, man. Because she was really caught up in the artificial side of aging. And I don't know how much that's going to change her. I would think this is how it works, is that you have more time on your hands. You have way more time for communication, and they're going to take advantage of that time and really show you some things to get you to see what it is that essentially at some point you will see. But they will keep dropping in front of you, and at some point you'll be like, man, what was I paying attention to? Why couldn't I just click in and get that? And so that's where this reevaluation of self and what you pay attention to and what you look at and what you focus on and why am I focused on that? Why am I pay attention to this? So whatever, she's out there, saying, get all these chemicals on your face, go get injections, your hair turning silver is beautiful, just put on all these cute clothes and go out and party all night, and go and travel and travel and travel. And she's very, very suntanned, and which I love being suntanned. But I don't know, when you're just not doing anything to take care of yourself, you're just eating out all the time, staying up all night, because there's things like you gotta take care of yourself. You gotta think about what your body needs, and then it needs to be taken care of, so so she was just like living this like hard fun, like make getting old fun, go out there, party, just get some makeup, do some injections. But then when she did this little fall, all of a sudden she's like, oh my God, I forgot to exercise. I haven't been exercising, just fall right, back. That's a lack of core strength. So, and I know that's a big thing that happens, especially for women who've had babies. So, building on your core strength, your leg strength, like I said, because so many people start relying on their arms and give up on their legs, which is so weird because your legs have got bigger muscles. So you need to stay into your movement. You got to stay into your exercise. And I'm not at all surprised. Like there's a lot of people who I've seen doing things and saying things, I'm just like watching to see what happens, because I can see it's going into direction opposing in the direction that we're going in. The universe is taking us in one direction, and all these people are scattering, trying to hold on to this old direction. Like, yeah, that may have been a thing, love yourself, let your hair go natural, just go get injections, try and stay looking young. It's like, I just think that's kind of a weird phenomenon, kind of to push on us. Like, you're not worthy unless you're 25 years old. It's like, uh, 25-year-olds, like, I don't know, they're still asking questions, aren't they? I don't know. So, anyways, this is all, everything is for evaluation and reevaluation. Everything is for us to look at and figure out for ourselves, but not judge other people for their decisions and what it is they see. And remember that when you see things, that you may see them different the next day. Everything is changing. Everything is going, and anything, don't get stuck and be like, well, this is the only way. It's the only way I see it. Like, I'm still open. Show me how we're jumping timelines and how that has value for the soul, please. So I'd love to jump to the next part and get out of all this bullshit. So anyways, it all remains to be seen. There's a lot that remain to be seen, and we're all, here for the viewing. So just remember what to be doing while you're waiting is learning how to love yourself, love everyone, and how to have a loving day, because it's totally up to you. That's what I'm telling you. Talk to you later. Bye.